Ten years after her death, Universal Movie Studios has dug up the body of Miss Montez because epics and came back, and Universal was overcome by melancholy for their vanished star, who brought in such gilded profits during the war years, and so they dug her up, and the makeup department devised a special makeup, to reconstruct her face, which was a secret recipe including plaster, shredded movie magazines, chicken fat, and they would pat the whole thing into shape before each take on her scenes, although occasionally chunks of it would drop off and fall off into the pool of midnight, which was filled with Shalimar perfume, which was where they were working on Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, the flick that they made at that time. And chunks of it would fall off into the pool of midnight, and the pearl diving creatures had to dive in and spear it and bring it back, or else she would cover her mistake by whipping up a fan over her face, and they would go on with the scene. And a few things like that, incidents like that during the film, and the whole thing got a sort of a slightly shabby feeling about the movie, but that only made it more interesting as it was being directed by Jack Smith, the raging movie director who gained notoriety and attention through his film, The Flaming Creatures. The whole Universal Movie Studio, the only studio under Scorpio, Miss Montez was a Gemini, was bursting into flames, was flaming that day, and the whole shithouse was burning, actually, when the gilded scene transpired, which occurred when Arthur Lubin rushed in to request Miss Montez's presence upon the set at the pool of midnight, and Miss Montez was in her dressing room.
Every time I look at myself in the mirror, I could scream, I'm so beautiful.
True, another gilded aphorism of Mario Montez's.
Dum, dum, ding, dum, ding, dum, 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 dum. Oh, and it's... Oh, I wonder could that be?
Look, anyway, there's a reporter here to see you from,
Gloria Thing is my name. Well, Miss Montez, it certainly is a gilded privilege to come into your set and interview you, lying there, all soaking with Shalimar perfume. I can hardly see you, but couldn't we open a window and... Oh, all right. I can hardly breathe.
You are a very unusual creature, you.
I am the Siren of Hearst.
A what?
Bring the star of reality. Gloria thing.
Heaven!
Well, dear, I see that you have a lot of makeup on your table. Rouges and plaster.
Not anyone or everyone is born beautiful.
But you are a raging beauty. Why do you say that?
Well, only because of Helena Rubinstein. Oh!
Whenever.
Whenever I look into the mirror, I just scream with joy. I am so beautiful. Even though I use Helena Rubinstein's makeup, I am still beautiful.
Idiotic, I'm sure. Well, to try to continue, have you read Jack Smith's article in Film Culture?
Who is Jack Smith?
He's a flaming movie producer the producer of Flaming Creatures.
Flaming Creatures?
True. It's a gilded extravaganza.
But why would he write about me?
I love your jewels, dear.
My jewels?
Yes.
Why?
Aren't they heavy? So much
No.
of it.
No.
I love your pills.
My what?
Pills.
Pills? Pills?
Pearls.
Oh, my pearls.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so pedunculated. Mr. Bay, would you please wave the fan a little bit over here to clear away some of the fumes? Miss Montez, I've heard that Shalimar is your favorite perfume. Could that be true?
Yes, it is. I've been using it since I was 13.
Really?
Yes.
In the convent?
Well, the sisters
What?
there strive.
What is the true story, dear, about your leaving the convent? Of Santa Maria, what was it? Which convent was it, dear?
The Santa Maria convent.
Where was it?
Oh, on some island near Dominican Republic. I cannot remember the name. But who cares about the name anyhow?
Well, everything sort of gets a name after a while.
Well, the reason I left that lousy convent was because one of the so-called sisters made a pass at me.
That lesbian. Well, one encounters lesbian longings in convents and railroad stations and any place wherever women get together. Urinals, and
Hey,
gay bars.
hey, what's going on?
Miss Montez, a caravan load of fan mail for you.
Really? Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Oh, let's see. Dear Miss Montez, whether you were the ruler of a tropical island paradise, a princess in ancient Baghdad, or Queen Antonia of the lost continent of the Atlantis, surrounded by the sands of the Sahara, no one ever added quite so much to quite such little as the fiery Latin beauty called Mario Montez. Well equipped you are with spectacular beauty, a regard bearing and flowing gowns, where you could make a dialogue like, I am here to tempt the hearts of men, seem very feasible. Your rich, full voice and French, Spanish accent made even the most trivial thing that you seem vibrant and seductive. Mine.
Idiot, not yet. That was Arthur Lubin, the director of Miss Montez's flick, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Missing a cue. But she was just reading a fan letter to herself, and now she's suddenly interrupted.
Oh! Every time I look at myself in the mirror, I could scream, I'm so beautiful!
Hey, Montez, let's hurry out, okay?
Okay, Arthur Lubin. Coming. As soon as I finish looking at myself in the mirror, because I am so beautiful, I could scream!
Okay, here we are on the pool set. Montez, you sit down here.
Wait, no, I have to. A chunk of her face has fallen off. It's a little disgusting. I think it'll be too noticeable. I mean, super noticeable, because the whole bottom, the flesh from the bottom part of her face has dropped off, and all that. And just the hideous grinning skull is showing through. It's I think it has to be repaired a little bit. Hand me that chunk of flesh that's down there by her foot. I don't. No, try to plaster it back on her.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's think nothing of it. That's all right. I guess Mr. Lubin, I suppose you could proceed now. There.
All right, she all set. John,
One moment,
John,
please.
you stand over here.
One moment,
And,
please.
And Montez, you
The
get out in the middle of
Shalimar
it.
is too cold.
Try it again. Let me turn up the thermostat here.
It looks like that wall has collapsed.
Well, it'll have to do. Can't
Much
get the.
better. I think it's slightly better now.
Well, let us slip on these. Let us slip on these skin tight. The skin tight diving suit here.
My God, careful! Don't touch her. You want a chunk of flesh to
It
fall off
slips
her
on
arm.
right
It takes
easy.
half an hour to place it. Pat it back in place. God, that
Okay.
stuff falls off in the middle of a shot.
Okay, John, begin with that line.
I prop her up in the water over there.
Hello, how are you? We'll start from there.
Turn the sound up.
Okay, John.
Ooh, God, this stuff is cold.
That's right. Come in from the left.
I can hardly breathe.
Hello. Where are you? I'm curious to see you.
I feed on the curiosity of foolish men.
If I had 1,000 pieces of gold, I would give them all for you.
1,000 pieces of gold. That's not enough. My price is high. My mistress awaits my coming.
Who may your mistress be that you grudge me a few minutes of your company?
She's the betrothed of Fulagu Khan.
Yeah, that's much
Return to
better.
your mistress then.
Wait.
But but know that I am come.
A chunk of flesh is falling off her cheek, and look,
God, not
look,
again.
honey, whip up your fan over your face, and then you just cover that. Okay, let's go ahead with it. I don't want to stop the shot.
Okay. Come
Plus
on
the,
again.
the makeup is running off into the
And
water.
someday I will buy you for my very own.
Is it you, Dukesley, to be so much?
All right, cut.
God, look, I think the Shalimar is eating away on the rouge, and there's a red stain around where she was standing.
Oh,
God,
no,
look,
not
a whole
again.
chunk of flesh is slipping off into the waters. It seems to eat away at the makeup, you know, and the flesh, and then the rouge comes off, and it looks gray under there.
We can't work with the whole cast screaming at every time she steps in the pool.
Yeah, get those homo set decorators off the set. Goddamn fairies starting clotting up in bunches and fucking each other. And well, I guess you have to. You can't get artistic results with normals. The extras were put to work dashing Shalimar perfume upon the fire, which was inflaming the whole studio. Meanwhile, the moon pool set went up in flames, unfortunately, because the Shalimar was highly inflammable. So they started another picture, which was entitled White Savage, wherein the voice that was being dubbed in for Miss Montez's corpse was found to be too effeminate, and so it was used for Sabu's voice, which will explain why the same voice is now playing Sabu. And it was indeed found that one of the homo set decorators, whose voice was actually approximated Miss Montez's more nearly, appositely, therefore his or her or its voice was used instead. Mr. Lubin is now attempting to direct the two, Miss Montez's corpse and the mass of people that were supporting it with props and things from behind, hence the genesis of the word prop, theatrical props.
Let's see, this is the scene where you start off with the line, hello, Montez. Let's commence.
Hello, Montez. How are you today?
Why have you come here? You know that if you are intercepted by the gods, you will be thrown into the Cobra pit. Yes.
But I just came to dig you.
To dig my beauty.
Yes.
My fool. Dash Shalimar perfume upon me. No, that shit is inflammable. Ugh, God, I have to keep away from the incense burners now. Oh, God.
What is this sacred pool that you have on this island?
Some of my jewels have fallen into the moon pool.
Jewels?
They must be retrieved.
Retrieved? Why?
Well, because I can't say exactly, but it has something to do with
Cut just a minute. Wait, I want to have the cameraman shoot that shot of Montez from between Sabu's legs. Here, get under here and shoot up so you get the good profile.
But he has a pedunculated scrotum.
Well, if it hangs down into the picture, we can edit it out later, Montez.
Now, these jewels. For what purpose do you want so... I don't mind you having jewels, but so many of them at once.
They were going to be offered to King Cobra, because today is the High Cobra ceremony.
King Cobra?
Yes.
You mean
All the jewels on the island are being scraped up and being flung into the pit of flames to sacrifice for King Cobra. The flames are coming nearer. Soon they will engulf this set too.
well, do you want me to dive into the pool?
Yes, Sabu. And bring me the Cobra jewels.
Okay, if you insist. Here I go. Watch me.
Splash. Ah, you have remerged. Give me the Cobra jewels.
Here. This is all I can get.
Now I must hurry off to the Cobra ceremony. Finally, the flames consumed the moon pool set on White Savage, and so the only set left on the lot was the marketplace set. And so the brave little company moved on there and started photographing what was to be Miss Montez's last posthumous movie entitled The Bag of Baghdad. In this scene, Miss Montez is being sold and her caravan loaded with costume jewelry has been captured. And so she's now being sold into slavery as a common dancing girl. Shit. I think I will dance.
Let us see. Come on, let's see if you can dance here. Come on, girl. Let's see you dance. Dance to the customers here.
Oh, my costume jewelry is rattling as I dance. There's so much of it. Oops. Oh my God! Miss Montez's body is completely collapsing and all the flesh is falling off and it's just a hideous dancing skeleton. Oh, it's loathsome. Stop it. Desert where nature favors no man, a buffalo and his brother were lying in the sand. Said the buffalo to his brother, tell me why do you lie that way? But his brother didn't answer, because he had been dead last May. Somebody told me about some color filter for $3.
From the Sears and Roebuck? Sears and Roebuck?
Oh, Tony,
Turn
look.
that light on.
Yeah. And can you see this being photographed in this flickering light? Oh, look! Oh, boy, it's hallucinatory. Ah, a scene of barbaric splendor. Ugh. Oh, my brain. Yeah, and the projector flicker can be modulated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tony, can you see that? Have your actual eyes in reality ever seen anything as exaggerated and raging as this? I mean, aside from theatrical experience. Oh! I'll hold one of my green jewels over the projector lens. Tell me when.
Now.
Oh, Madre. And that little touch of color up there, see? Oh, Madre. Oh, look.
Ooh, that's nice. Look.
I'm looking at it through a green jewel, but it doesn't even make sense.
It's all tomato, there is no waste. It's all tomato, there is no waste. No waste? Oh, why don't you try it today? And Daddy will shout, how, and Mommy will shout, and the pets will shout, and the kitties will shout, and the French maid will shout, no, we use tomato paste in your household. And why don't you try it today? The whole house will shout a parade. The bathroom ceiling will fall in. The bathtub will overflow. The dining room table will float out the door. With the whole family clinging to it. Shouting, boo, 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 Contadina, Contadina, tomato paste, it's all tomato. There is no waste in your household. Why don't you try it today and whole household will shout it parade.
Yes, folks. If you buy our tomato paste, you'll never have a bit of waste. Oh.
It's all tomato, it's all tomato, there is no waste in your tummy. Why don't you get anywhere else in your household? Rush out and get it, girl. It's all tomato, there is no waste. Contadina tomato paste in your tummy. Why don't you give it a whirl? Why don't you rush out and purchase it, girl? Contadina, Contadina tomato paste. I can hear it simmering now, just like it used to on Mama's own stove. Pre-digested by real Italian grandmothers. Straight out of the toilet bowls of real old-fashioned Italian Contadina grandmothers. Oh, by gee, by gosh, by gum, by Joe.
For that nice
Listen to my tale of woe. I will make some tomato paste. I will lay your system waste. Out to the bathroom you will give room. Step into the kitchen, girl, and I will show you the old-fashioned way of decimating. Real old-fashioned con tomato shit bars.
Also, you know, dripping with the echoes and reflections and memories and the sadness of the bereavement to of us all by the departure of Mario Montez, whose gilded absence will always create so irreconcilable niche in our hearts, you know, at whose passing, also floating away, you know, covered with gardenias to the ceiling and disappearing after the mermaid's tail. If it were possible to get back at this point to such a Cecil-beaten part of the afternoon that was somehow embroidered into the blue vein afternoon of this shimmering thing that I had thought to, this pattern that I had sought to fling before your eyes in this, in the form of this tissue which would cover the, like a net over the water as the transition between the water to air and achieving sort of a unity in a puff of steam as it emerged from a Turkish bath. And the Florida Keys, the ceiling, the empty ceiling of which, if that were possible to record, the moldiness of that. The pea green cheap vodka, the nasty, the pea green color, the horrible pea green color that shattered my early years too, and somehow, all of this also as well can vanish back in patterns of a mouse eyelid being closed over its mouse eyeball, cutting out the flame at the top of the altar, which was revealed by someone is on the altar. Someone is lying on the altar. Who or what? Who? And the mouse milk morning. Disappearing reality. As the curtain just collapsed, revealing an inner-spring mattress, which had evidently was serving as protection from burglars, dripping with mouse milk, and being forgotten forever, and shimmering cascades of mouse milk disappearing over the waterfalls of endless yearning chinas, of gaping Grand Central, in the mountains, in order to participate in the sacrifice, and I suppose it was worth it once. But if it all has to be left behind, these red patterns of mouse milk donut company ads, somehow turning it to geometric and back through a painting to disappear in linoleum patterns, which are the true source of everyday life. You see, the very linoleum, the forgotten Turkish patterns that a negligence, of about a century of misuse at the hands of artists and models, and the battalions of the drowning Chinese is that recorded now eternally for centuries? And can that now disappear into mouse milk ripples? Oh, marvelous. If so, farewell, moldy moment of affected rapture. the title of this is The Horrors of Agony. Pfeffernusse-flavored aspirin was found to be hideously dangerous, and babies the size of strawberries were being born to women who were known paupers, and these babies had enormous heads, the size of spoiling watermelons, and they whispered obscene remarks in sibilant Levantine waterfront pidgin, and they had lidless eyes and leering flaccid mouths, and they were born with pierced ears, and some were even born with garish metallic paper carnival hats. Their mothers felt repugnance at the lewd comments they uttered at breastfeeding time, and their limbs were unsightly thin and curling tendrils like withered asparagus bottoms, which were covered with the fine prickly hair, and they coiled and uncoiled continuously like tendrils in the sea, under the sea, you know.
Like marine tendrils.
Just always, you know, that hideous coiling, slow peristalsis movement. And when these tendrils were fragile, and when they were pinched off, they grew right back, clutching insulting greeting cards. U.S. government mercy stations were set up to give the mothers free classes in stringing donut necklaces and pasting sequins on prune pit jewelry. And the creatures required maple syrup and Clorox enemas every half hour. Some mothers got prune pits stuck in the tubing, and their babies died amid horrid screams and rectal explosions of white-hot enema mixture. Many mothers dressed their babies elaborately in lace and spangles to overcompensate for the deformities. Some of the little creatures had 10-story high feathered headdresses. Sometimes these headdresses got snarled in high voltage telephone wires, and the mothers would
Why don't you read it?
and the mothers would look down into the toddlers to see their babies incinerated, like so many blackened and dehydrated ostrich droppings. Often nice old ladies would peer into the baby carriages to tweak their cheeks, and would instead vomit into the carriages, adding another knife into a mother's heart as she pushed the brimming carriage all the way across town in a raging hailstorm. I'm sorry.
What a retreat.
How could a mother hold down her
It's very good, but why do you have to like go through all those things as you read it?
Honestly, I can't help it. I'm really
yes, you can.
it breaks me up. I'm sorry.
If you read it to, I'm sorry, if you read it to someone,
No,
you understand?
okay,
you spare him all of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really.
You just read it straight, and you let that do it.
Yeah, it is funny though.
It is.
True. Okay.
It's hilarious.
And they would and she would have to push the brimming mess all the way across town in a raging hailstorm. How could a mother hold down her job as a nightclub chanteuse and take care of the baby too? In desperation, she took it around to commercial photographers to pose for telephoto close-up of flaccid anal openings. One Norwegian avant-garde literary review bought one of the pictures for an ironic account of the Andrea Doria sea collision. The Stockholm rammed her amidship. The Andrea Doria listed 45 degrees because she was top-heavy due to the fact that the hold had been emptied of its cargo of Shalimar perfume. The first-class passengers had been permitted to swim in it. But it was discovered that a senile, silent aquatic movie queen had not been coming out of the Shalimar when she had to pee. The liner was therefore made top-heavy. She was due to come into New York the next afternoon. She was skimming through the night at a snappy clip. The last drop of Shalimar trembled on the lip of her bilge pump and shook off into the foaming Atlantic. Then there was a hideous crunching and splintering and snarling sound, and a shudder racked the unlucky boat. The pointed prow of the Stockholm had dildoed a gaping hole in her side. A startling and different freak effect had occurred. A fat middle-aged lady had been sleeping in au naturel in the top of a double-decker bunk, and the unusually spoon-shaped top of the prow of the Stockholm had acted as a pancake flipper and had scooped her up and flipped her onto the mangled mess that had been its own prow. The mysterious woman the woman who had been flipped up, sat facing in towards the ship, perched near the edge among the tangled intaglio of prow wreckage. Her red hair fell down over her shoulders. Her large and pasty beer belly bobbled fatly. In the gray, disastrous light, she seemed luminous and vaguely nacreous. And one of the crew risked his own safety to crawl out to haul her to safety. Not till he almost reached her did he realize that she was dead, and she was totally bare-ass. But the crewman noticed that she wore a ring with a large blue stone upon one hand. He reached out for her hand to haul her in, but her entire arm came off when he jerked on it. He released the arm, and it dropped into the water, and he fought down the horrors and reached out for her hair to drag her in by that means. Agony and nausea fought for supremacy in his brain, which was about to burst into flames. And the woman's hennaed tresses came out in his grasp. There was no way he could pull her off now, so he crawled back, racked with the agonizing revulsions and stunned by this encounter and with the overt hideousness of life on Earth, in all of its rampaging hideousness. Wait, I think I repeated that word. In all of its rampaging, overtly obnoxious attributes. Later, that chunk of the prow that she was on fell off, and it took the mysterious woman with it. She was instantly devoured by a great many sharks, which had been waiting below. The water was lashed into a froth of frenzied foam. Shortly thereafter, the monstrous baby investigations threw up startling revelations. Many housewives were raging dope fiends. They were continually up on reducing drugs, which were shockingly high in amphetamines and spirit lifters. They would get together in the daytime and get high as kites and cackle over coffee. Many college girls either imagined that they did or actually got high on Dristans. The debased pseudo-artistic scum that infest decomposing New York tenements make tea of asthma cigarettes and experimented with mold florets found on putrescent pussy sweetener. Debbie Reynolds claimed that the mystery woman was her scrub woman who had been junketing in Europe. A special line of cosmetics then appeared on the market for the monstrous babies. They sat up in their 18th century swan beds and applied enormous globs of the new foaming and hissing chunky style Phantom of the Opera pockmark filling smegma and extracted from oversized suitcase handles and Posner's non-clotting scented spray mist pubic hair straightening glop picked out of the tiny scum traps and diamond tiaras and mocha eyeshadow scraped out of the tiny sperm-hungry cracks and sliding boards down which plummet hot and screaming little girls. Dead, to be dead, and to be truly dead, to be truly, eximiously. I just hate to see this happening to Mario. Slowly watching Mario's brain be eaten away, being turned into a jabbering Mongo by proximity to tape recorders. It overstimulates him dreadfully. Can't you see that? Embarrassing. Now he's now he's tootling out the
What's the other business that you were
Peacock
thinking of?
2 to 300, Peacock 2 to 300, Peacock 2 to 300.
That's Saul's phone number.
Peacock 2 to 300, Peacock 2 to 300.
Let's go call Saul.
Call me Saul. That's the name of the store in East Harlem. Yes, call me Saul. It's on 112th Street and 3rd Avenue. It is. And then, okay, on 112th Street, there's a beauty parlor called Loveness.
It's this funny new tape jabbering.
But they forgot the word normal. It should have been normal Loveness.
This is a whole personality that you've cooked up. I mean, wanderings, incredible, lightning associations, just for. You turn into this weird thing whenever you're around a tape recorder.
But
I don't know how to deal with it.
But it's life itself, Jack. You can't deal with life. Then why be alive? But you want to be alive, even though you say you want to be truly dead. Well, the phone number.
It isn't life. It isn't life.
Oh, it isn't?
It's being recorded.
It's fantasy being recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put the phone number. Peacock 2 to 300. Peacock 2 to 300. No, Peacock 2 to 3,000.
Stop it! You've got to stop it!
I forgot one digit.
Oh my God, your mind is going! Oh! It's not worth it! Turn off the tape recorder! Tony, turn off the fucking... Turn it off, Tony! Tony, turn it off! My brain! It's not worth seeing turning into that! I mean, Mario! I mean... It's as if, I heard of somebody who once got an injection of pure cocaine into their system or something. Or no, somebody had replaced their cocaine with ammonia. So, and the guy was sitting on the toilet at the time he was shooting up. And his sister, when she wanted to get into the bathroom, pushed the door in, and it juggled against his knee, and he slipped off the toilet and fell onto the floor, but his head split open like a melon, because the ammonia had gotten in and eaten away inside of his head like a rotten melon. And it just, well, I mean, that's like history. I don't want to see...
That's gotta be something now!
Mario! I mean, it'll be cut out, Tony. You're gonna have to cut that part out.
It's gonna be dubbed in.
God, what if Mario's mother found out?
It's definitely gonna be dubbed in there.
True.
So if I would have to do it tonight, before you leave. It can be done. Playback.
I think it's okay.
No, not my name. No. Not my real name. And if Jack wouldn't do it, he must play the tape back for me, and every time he says my real name, I'll say Mario for him. He doesn't say it for me. I'll dub it in for him.
We could have a burst of Latin music. You know. What about
that? It's Mario! I'll tell you. Mario!